I'm sorry if the lighting's going in and out, but the sun's like going in behind clouds. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you happen to be new here, my name is Jess. Today we are going to be doing Top 5 Wednesday. It's been a while since I participated in Top 5 Wednesday because I've either had other video ideas that I wanted to film, sometimes I just get too many at once, or sometimes I'm just not in the mood to do them, sometimes the prompts are a little too hard for me. But today's Top 5 Wednesday is totally doable. It is 5 books that you wanted to read in 2017 that you plan on making a priority in 2018. Now this was very, very easy because I have quite a few books on my shelves that I really wanted to read last year that I never got around to, and I'm really excited to actually get to these this year. If you guys are not familiar, I'm participating in the Unread Shelf Project, which is, you can find it on Instagram. It's like a tag that is started by an Instagram channel called the Unread Shelf Project, and she is just essentially going through all the books that she owns and, you know, getting rid of the ones that she knows she'll never read and then actually reading the books that she owns. And I'm just really excited to actually get to them because I really want to be one of those people that only reads the books that they buy and not have like 17,000 books on their shelves that they need to read. So the first book that I have here is actually a book that I know not a whole lot about, but I know enough about it to know that I think I'm really gonna like it. It is centered around villains. It would be Vicious by V.E. Schwab. You guys have heard me probably talk about this before on my channel. I am really excited to read this because from what I have heard, it is more just about villains. Like, it is villain centric. There is no love in this. There is no, you know, nothing like that. And it just sounds really, really cool. I believe they have sort of like powers and things like that. I don't know if it's magic or if it's more on the side of like superhero powers, but I think it sounds really, really cool. And I love the storyline of like a book being centered around villains. I think that that is absolutely wonderful. And I know the second one comes out this year, so I do need to actually go ahead and actually read this so that I can pick up the second one when it is available. Now here's a book that I actually purchased because Coffee Chatter actually hauled this, and I believe she read it and said that it was really cute. Cute in a way, like it's very short. It is We Are Okay by Nina LaCour. This book is beautiful, I have to say, and I think that's part of the reason why I ended up picking it up, but I really need to read it because from what I hear, it's about a girl who kind of has like a rocky past and then sort of goes off to college, and then she has to come back to the town during like a break or like a family emergency or something like that, and she's confronting everything that has happened in her past with her family, and this sounds like something that I'd be really interested in. So I don't know why I haven't read it, especially since it's so short, but I'm really hoping that I can get around to it, hopefully in like February, March, just to say that I have finally read it. I've heard mixed reviews on it, but I think it sounds like something that I'm really gonna like. Now here's a book that I actually got in an Owl Crate, I believe, either Owl Crate or Fairy Loot, I'm not sure, but it is A Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. I've heard great things about this. I've heard that it's very funny, it has a lot of representation, it just sounds like a book that I'm really gonna like, so I have no idea why I haven't been drawn to it, why I haven't wanted to pick it up. I am probably going to try to read this as soon as possible. I think that it is just a book that I need to read because it's along the same vein of kind of what I wanted to do with 2018. Read more mental health representation, read more, you know, LGBTQ plus representation. I think that this is just going to be a wonderful book for me to read in 2018 to keep with that theme. And I'm hoping to get around to it soon. We'll see. It's not a very large book. I mean, it's pretty big, but it's not the biggest book that I've ever read. And I think that maybe if I have trouble reading it, if I don't have time, I may try it on audiobook. G, who's here, Book Rose here on YouTube, she said that she loved the audiobook, so maybe that's what I'll try to do, but I need to either read it or get rid of it. I can't just have it sitting on my shelves. Now, if you guys are aware, a couple months ago, I actually tried to read some books that were translated from other languages into English, and I had quite a bit of trouble getting into the books for some reason, and that seems to be like a running theme that I've had. I asked you guys if you knew any books that were translated into English that were actually very good, and the #1 recommended author was Frederick Bachman, and I have had this book for a while now, probably like 5 or 6 months. It is A Man Called Ove. I don't know a whole lot about this book. I have read one other book by him. It was more of like a short story kind of thing, and I really liked it. I really liked his writing style. It was sort of whimsical, but also very like informative and had a lot of depth to it. So I'm really excited to read this. I kind of want to pick up the rest of his books because I haven't heard anybody say that they didn't like anything by Frederick Bachman. Upon reading the back of it, apparently it is about an incredibly angry old man, which sounds really cute, and it sounds like something I'm really gonna like. So I think this might be more of like a, you know, comes off as lighthearted but not such a lighthearted read, one of those books, so I need to read this as soon as possible because it sounds absolutely adorable. And the next book I have here, I actually scoured for this book because I wasn't sure where I wanted to buy it from. I wasn't sure who I wanted to support when I bought it, but it is Gwendy's Button Box by Stephen King and Richard Chismar. This is another one of those books where he's done like a collaboration with somebody. He's been doing those quite frequently recently, and I don't really know how I feel about it, and I think that's why I'm afraid to pick this up, because I'm not the best when it comes to do collaborative writings. Like, I have a ton of Stephen King books that he has written with somebody else that I have not read, and I really need to try them because I'm afraid that they're going to kind of taint the writing style that he has, the writing style that I love so much. So this book is not big at all. It is actually quite small, but it has been sitting on my shelves for so long because I have that fear of, am I going to like it? Because I don't know who this other author is. All I know about this is that there is like a trail that leads to the top of kind of like a cliff, and this younger girl, I think she's probably about 21, goes up there just to get away and to like view the city. Obviously it happens in Castle Rock, like in Maine, which is another setting that Stephen King often uses in his books. And then she meets this gentleman, and apparently from there a lot of like kind of horrifying things happen, because she says that in the description it says that she fears him and fears like the hat, and the hat is Things of Nightmares, the hat that he wears. So I'm really kind of curious about what it's about. I tend to not read descriptors on Stephen King books just because I like to go into them surprised, but with this one I wanted to read it and see if it sounds like something I'm going to want to read, because unfortunately Stephen King is an auto-buy author for me, so even if I don't like a book, I still own it. I do need to read this as soon as possible though, because it sounds really cool, and like I said, it's quite short, so it shouldn't take me more than a day. Alright guys, so that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and think about subscribing. I'm really excited to finally get down and read all of the books that I own. I can't tell you how interesting that is to me, the fact that we all buy so many books but we never tend to read them, but I think it's because we are such collectors. Like, people, you know, collect dolls, or they collect, you know, action figures, or they collect like movies. We just tend to collect books, so that is fine with me. I think our problem is, however, that in collecting books it actually takes quite a lot of effort to read the book, and that's why a lot of them sit on our shelves for so long. But these are 5 books that I really need to get around to as soon as possible. A lot of them sort of surprised me since I didn't know that much about them, that they do sound like something I'm really gonna like, so I'm glad that I did this, and I'm really glad to read them. I'm really hopeful that I get around to them, but I hope you guys are having a good week, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!